Hey, I'm Isaac from Epica, guitar player, and I'm gonna take you throughout my whole rig, guitars, the setup itself, the amps and all of that. So let's dig right in. This is a 7-string Gibson Les Paul 2014 black, and I use this so it's drop tuning, drop A tuning. So the top 6 strings are regular tuning and this is a A. And the strings are 10s to 52, and then the bottom one is a 68 on this one. On the other guitar it has a 64. It's pretty much standard off the shelf. I got it like this, and so it has Seymour Duncan pickups. It has a 15 dB boost knob, which I actually don't really use. I always leave it on. Tone and 2 volume knobs. We're playing metal, max out. But it's different from the other one, so there's more to explain on the other main guitar. This is kind of the backup. I don't use it that many times. On this tour I've only used it maybe once or twice. So let's put it back. And this over here is the main guitar. Also a 2014 Gibson Les Paul 7-string. It's pretty battered, as you can see. And same standard pickups which came with the guitar. The only thing is that I switched this one. Used to be here obviously, but since I'm doing sometimes like tapping, I wanted to have it there. Still need to do that on the other black one, but since I don't use it that often and I don't play solo with tapping, it didn't happen yet. And then I only use one volume knob. These are the tone switches are disconnected, so I don't use that at all because I never figured out why you need it, especially if you play metal. So it's a very simple setup, just volume, toggle switch, and that's it. And then as far as the setup of the guitar itself, you can see that I wire the strings the other way around, so I don't go through here, but I make that sort of, what is it, U-turn kinda. And then this one, this saddle is switched upside down for better intonation. And those are kind of the standard things you do on a Gibson Les Paul. So this is a standard 7-string tuning. I go from 10 to 52 on the 6th string, and then I add a 64. They're Ernie Ball strings, I love them. There's not much to say about it. It's a great guitar. Never had any problems with it, and I just love the Gibson. So as soon as they made the Les Paul 7-string, I made sure I had some. And this is a tobacco burst finish. I have 2 of those. I love that finish a lot. This is my custom guitar pick in tune, 1mm. I've always played 1mm, and yeah, so. And there it goes. So in the US we use a very simple rig. We have to fly everything over here. We also rent some amps, but they're not connected for this tour because on this tour we started using Neural DSP Quad Cortex for the first time. So I needed some time to set it up still, but I'm happy as of now. The good thing about it, it's one device and it has 2 outputs, so you can dial in 2 different sounds in one device, which gives front of house or sound engineer the options that he needs. So I'm actually not really sure. Let me have a... So here's the mics, Dynamic 57 and the Ribbon 160. That's dialed in for this one, and then yeah, same for the other one. It's also very handy for in-ear. I can blend the 2 sounds, so one is a little darker, the other one is very high-end, or yeah, high tones, treble. And so I can always, depending on the venue, depending on the stage, I can blend those 2 sounds together, which is really cool. I used to have just one sound in my ears, and then if you have a very, let's say, muddy stage with a lot of low end, you kind of need that crispiness to still be able to hear what you're playing. Before using this one, I had a Positive Grid digital rack unit, I tone matched all the mics and amps that I used in the studio, up to I think 8 different mics we used. So either the US front of house engineer or the European or whoever we work with, they all send out their preferred mics, so we have their sounds that they wanted. And so when Positive Grid started focusing more on the Spark amps, I think it is, they kind of left the rack units for what it was, so I was looking for something new. And since I've been hearing a lot of great stuff about Neural DSP, I've been using the plugins for years now in my home studio. And since I have this device now, I thought it would be a good idea to switch to that. And so far so good, I'm really happy with that. Also the service, great service. And so that's the main device in my rig. Then obviously there's a noise suppressor already in there that I use for pretty much all the sounds, but just dialed in very lightly at about 20%. But then I have an extra Boss noise suppressor, which is kind of maxed out, as you see. I have a tuner and I have a tube screamer, which I only use for, so tone and level is pretty much set up straight. I add a little overdrive, that's all. I only use that when I go to the lead channel, and the switches of the channels, that happens here. So one is if so everything is MIDI controlled. All the sounds, I don't have to push any buttons, everything runs through MIDI. The MIDI switches are switching sounds for both me and Mark, the other guitar player. Channel 1 is if we both play clean, then channel 2 is if I play clean and he's on distortion already. Channel 3 is both rhythm. Channel 4 is Mark is still rhythm, and I have the noise suppressor switched off pretty much. And channel 5 is lead sound, so Mark is still on rhythm and I'm on a lead sound, which will add a little delay in the cortex. The noise suppressor goes off and the tube screamer goes on, and that's about it. So basically for, let's say, 90% of the show we're on channel 3, rhythm guitar playing, and it sometimes switches to 4 if I have like longer chords or long notes. Then I just program channel switch 4, so the noise suppressor goes off and I have a nice long and clean tone. And that's it. Is that it? I guess that's it. So that was it. Very simple, but effective. I'm really happy with this. And thanks for watching, and see you on either this North American tour we're doing right now or somewhere else in the future. You can check out all the tour dates on epica.nl/tour or on our Instagram, socials, Facebook, whatever you like. And I hope to see you out there in the future. Take care.